So let's talk about Malcolm's moves. I said he had a couple, and they're both sells. Number one, Iron Mountain. Why so?
Yeah, so if you're a dividend investor, this is still a great stock for you to own. But for me, I sold that when I had earnings just on the expectation that I looked at what happened with the big banks when they reported. I looked at what happened with big tech when they reported. Great, solid earnings numbers, and the market still responded by selling their shares down. And so I expected the same thing from Iron Mountain, and so far that's what we've seen. But I've been in this name for the past year and have nothing to show for it but a 3% dividend. So if you look at its valuation in comparison to its peers in the XLRA, I don't think that it's going to take off in any meaningful direction anytime soon. It's probably going to continue to trend
Why
down.
do you think the market's been doing that? The way that some of these stocks have been reacting post-earnings, the way they have. Expectations just got too high on some names?
I think it's sentiment. I think even though when we look at the year-to-date number, the S&P is still doing single digits, it feels like, if you just think about April 9th, the snapback that's happened since then, it feels like the market is doing significantly better than it is. And I think that investors are just looking to take a breather, take some profits here, and wait for the next thing. I mentioned before, consensus seems to be we're overdue for a pullback, and everyone's trying to position themselves for that pullback.
Including you.
Including me to a degree, but I'm actually
Prologis
I also bought ASML with the proceeds. So
okay.
I'm using the cash to get in position for things that I think are going to happen looking forward. I think we're probably due for a rate cut that's going to set up great opportunity to buy in names like fintech.
Why'd you sell this?
So I sold Prologis similarly, but it's been a dead stock for me. For the year that I've owned it, it hasn't actually done well. And if you look at vacancy rates, they brag about a 95% or so vacancy rate, but across the industry, that rate is increasing. And
Let's see a year.
And so sentiment in that name, it's been a round trip basically for me since I've owned that stock. And again, I've only got a 3% dividend to show for it in the time that I've owned it.
You ever own this?
Yes, the ETF loves to buy this. We have not had much luck, as you've described.
Yeah.
What do you mean loves to buy this? When was the last time you owned it?
The ETF has owned this several times. I believe that we owned it at the end of last year. I'll pull up my file in a second, but we've owned it several times. And we haven't done well with it.
Are your numbers reliable this time?
Oh, boy, here we go.